Here are 5 things you probably didn't know about Forfar. Let's talk about the Forfar witches. Back in the 1660s, during the Great Scottish Witch Hunt, this town went completely paranoid. The magistrates locked suspects up in the local toll booth and tortured them with an absolute nightmare of engineering called the Forfar bridle. It's a heavy iron collar with 3 sharp spikes that force their mouths shut. You can actually go face to face with this literal instrument of torture today inside the Mefan Museum. And let's debunk a common myth. They didn't burn them alive right away. Legally, they strangled them to death first at the old playfields, then burned the bodies in tar barrels. Second, the massive loch you see today at the edge of town is practically a puddle compared to what it used to be. Forfar Loch used to be a massive deep glacial body of water, but in the late 1700s, they launched a massive engineering project to drain the loch, dropping the water level by over 15 feet. Why? To dig up marl, which is essentially ancient slimy, calcium-rich mud, used as a fertiliser. Draining it shrunk the loch, but exposed Queen Margaret's Inch, a hidden prehistoric crannog. Third is Castle Hill. If you look around, you'll see a nice 19th century tower, but 700 years ago, this was a massive, intimidating royal castle held by the English on Christmas night in 1308. A local Scottish partisan leader named Philip Forrester decided to give the English garrison the worst Christmas present ever. He and a bunch of local lads threw rope ladders up the walls and took the fortress by storm. When King Robert the Bruce arrived, he was so determined the English would never use it as a base again that he ordered the entire castle completely demolished. He seemed to have a little bit of a habit of that. Just a few miles down the road, at Aberlemno, you can stand in a churchyard and look at one of the most important historical monuments in Europe. This is a 1200-year-old Pictish symbol stone. The front has a beautiful Christian cross, but the back features a rare direct comic strip carving of a brutal battle. Historians believe it records the Battle of Dunecton, fought right nearby at Dunecton Hill in 685 AD. The invading Anglo-Saxons marched up from England to conquer the north. The Picts feigned a retreat, drew them into an ambush in the hills and completely annihilated them. If the Picts had lost that day, there would be no Scotland. You can see the carved Anglo-Saxon king in the stone been eaten by a raven. Finally, everyone knows about Nessie, but decades before the world obsessed over Loch Ness. 19th century locals were terrified of Forfar Loch monster. Local newspapers and fishermen reported a massive, dark, serpentine beast lurking in the deep weeds here. Forfar is packed with these hidden layers of Scottish history. Smash that thumbs up and share this with a mate. It truly means more than you think. Thanks for joining me and Star in Forfar. Catch you in the next one.